Yo. All right. No. Listen. We've had a terrible day. Let me tell you. We took our usual transportation in the chimney to head out to this what's it called? Oasis in a bottle place, and somebody threw an artifact into the thing while we were using it. It looked like a busted old window AC unit, but it was messing with the temperature way more than a normal machine. Clearly magical. We almost froze to death. But we did make it to the place and met the owner. Thought-infused guy, only spoke in our heads. The little one over there agrees to try out his stress relief mind blanking service so we can see if he has something to do with a missing persons case we're working on. While all this is happening, LZ here gets in a fight outside with some dwarves. Seems like they were the ones behind the kidnapping, not the thought infused inside. Anyway, we couldn't get any hard facts or details out of them before we got ourselves in a gunfight and had to get the hell out of there. So yeah, today's been rough. So please, just let us hang out in the back. We won't make too much noise. Don't ask questions about this dwarf, and we won't cause any trouble. Deal?
All right. Well, we'll see what happens when you arrive at good intentions in a minute. But the yeah. So what kind of experiences did people accomplish last session?
Okay, I'll go.
Mm-hmm.
I helped my patron connect with someone and increased my patron's opinion of me. I did some things. I don't remember. I did something to like make myself more pleasing to someone. I think maybe that I like with the I was like did a lot of work in non-magical stuff to like make myself more pleasant to the like simpatico with the the genie. I used dazzle in the fight. We had extricating the dwarf. I guessed that the dwarf was suspicious, and I was correct, so I got to use the emotional deduction. I used the conjure fear feature, and I made an untalented roll, and I tried something dangerous or risky just for the fun of it, which was mostly the a bunch of the brain stuff was in that. Oh, and also I touched the fucking AC unit when I probably shouldn't have.
That last one was from your flaw.
I'm immature. I was just wanted to play with something, and I got to play with something.
Yep, and you get experience in any town of your choice for doing that.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how that works?
Yeah. When you get flaw or destiny experience, the when you apply it, it lets you pick any of your talents to put that into. Whereas all the other ones, you get experience in the talent.
I might.
Experience comes from.
We'll see. I might try and stay friends with the genie guy. I think the genie guy might be a long-term friend for me. What was his name?
He didn't give you his real name. He says don't use your real names in his place, but he knows your real name because he looked into your mind.
Yeah.
Who wants to go next? For experiences.
How do you spell genie?
I have rewritten my destiny to something that could reasonably happen, because the way I wrote, I didn't understand what the destiny was used for before. So
yeah, that's fine. Cool. Ryota, did you have any experiences?
yes, I had many actually last session. It was good session for experiences for me. I forced a hospital NPC to flee behind cover using marksmanship. I used the sniper feature for some benefit. I can't remember what the sniper feature is off the top of my head right now.
I think it's just attacking from far range.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I fought alongside an ally for the first time, so I fought alongside the genie, very briefly, although he refused to help us.
In a lot of meaningful ways. Yeah.
I used threat analysis to analyze a place before going in. I used the forewarn feature to protect somebody else by looking into the future. I used the reconnaissance feature. Oh wait, that's the one that I used. Yeah, the one where I would assess the place before going in. What is threat analysis again? I forget. I don't have. I haven't been using all this stuff long enough to know like what everything is off just from the names.
That's the one where I tell you some of the complications that an NPC has when you
You
observe
watched
them.
Genie while I talked to the Genie. You watched him
Yeah.
to
Okay.
figure
Okay.
out what
Okay.
it was, what he
Yeah.
might, how you might hurt.
Cool. And I think that is it for last session. Yeah. I was about to accuse an NPC of lying, but then some dwarves got in the way of our conversation, so I didn't get to do that.
LZ1.
Okay, let's see. I used the gunnery weapon specialty feature for some benefit. I think benefit here is loosely defined because I shot some people and that was maybe bad, but that's fine. I used cure wounds for some benefit. And I also performed first aid on a hostile NPC to make up for shooting them. I made some untalented rolls in regards to trying to talk my way through situations, which is definitely not LZ1's strong suit, particularly when these people think that I'm just a robot. And I made some progress towards my destiny by revealing that I'm not a normal robot. And in response, I learned the name Talia, which is very important to me. I just don't know why.
LZ1 does not know why. Does Jack know why?
Well, yeah, I think I invented that name.
Yeah. Okay, just want to make sure that. Okay.
That is a name I wrote. Yes.
And Guppy wasn't here last session, but hopefully they'll get some good experience this time. So you're bringing this dwarf that Mogget has dazzled through the city to Good Intentions, the vegan restaurant that Ryota is a fan of and goes to regularly. So before we get into that scene, two things I want to mention. First, I want to point out that where is it? Torture is one of our veils. So the way we'll handle that is I'll just say that if, don't do any kind of physical or mental harm to this dwarf in that kind of sense. And even if you feel like you want to, I'll just tell you that you will not get any mechanical benefits or information. Torture will not be successful for you, even if you should try it. So just want to put that out there. That doesn't mean you can't question him or threaten him or anything like that, but like physical harm will not get you any closer to accomplishing your goals. Secondly, I think it'd be good for y'all to talk about like what. So you're trying to find this lost goblin. I keep wanting to say child, but he's like a college student basically. So
He's like Mogget's age.
Yeah, basically. So it might be helpful to establish what you know, what you don't know, and what you think this dwarf might be able to tell you or help you out with.
Sure.
Before we get into the scene of actually discussing and interacting with the dwarf.
So my impression, I'm gonna turn on my camera. Sorry, I was doing. My impression was that we suspect the dwarf of being part of an organization that kidnaps people, like people from this area, for being interesting in some way, shape, or form. And the dwarf is interesting to them. Sorry, and the goblin was interesting to them for some reason. Is that fair? Is that a fair assessment of what?
Yeah, I don't know
We
if we ever
believe-
really found out anything particularly interesting, but I mean, they did.
That-
They
that-
wanted him
that's
for
our current-
something.
That's
But
our
we
current
just don't-
assumption.
Hmm.
We just don't have any evidence
So
other than
one thing that kind of happened at the end of last session was, the other people from his organization came and like there was a bit of a firefight, got away. The people, they had like kind of military style uniforms, and there was a label on them. So the name of that organization is Principal Associates. So they're not like a secret organization or anything like that, because given that they have it like written on their uniforms. But that's any more information than that could be a recall check.
sure. Okay, that might be enough information. We may not need to.
What are they called?
Principal Associates.
Another thing is that there was like a guy in like a doctor's coat who left the scene around the time we arrived. We may want to just question our dwarf if he knows who that person is.
Yeah.
And to see if he
Um,
why this place specifically is my biggest question. Like, why is he hanging out in front of Oasis in a bottle, kidnapping people, presumably?
I mean, it seems like a good place to kidnap people from because it's the sort of place where people go to forget to get lost. To like, if someone was gonna go and hide from their family, this is where they'd go. So it can look like they were It's like oh no, we didn't kidnap them. They kidnapped themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Is my best guess for that. Like it is a place for or people that are desperate. Like it's a place for people that are sad and desperate and vulnerable, and that's useful to someone who wants to kidnap. That would be my guess.
Okay.
But also, who knows? There also are many other reasons that I cannot fathom. So.
All right. I can't think of anything else.
So I'd like to a little bit ask him. Let's talk about how we would that what we're gonna do with this dwarf. I think we would like this dwarf to like. I think the fact that my best argument for this dwarf to agree with that to cooperate is that he like got in a little deeper than is the implication that he got in a little deeper than he meant to because they thought these were nobodies, but the kid they kidnapped is like has money, like is somebody, and the fact that we're even looking into it means that they fucked up and should like come clean a little bit, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least like like make it less bad for all people involved by cooperating.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, let's apply the pressure that like he thought no one was going to come looking, but here we are.
Yeah, like this is like we're not completely incompetent. He's not gonna like if ooh, Chris, your camera
Yeah,
choked.
it was doing that on Thursday. I need to figure that out. I might turn it back on at some point, but it's probably not gonna last for too long.
Yeah, I need to get a new one anyway. So
Maybe do quantity 2 and I'll Venmo you the difference.
yeah,
But
that's it. All.
I'll play around with this one after the session.
But yeah. But yeah, that's my best. That's my best like prep squeeze is that like it's best interest for you and your community. Like if you want to like even like letting him communicate with his organization, be like, here, take a phone, talk to your people, but like you're now like you're like you're pissing in somebody else's stuff now, and it's going to become a problem more and more if you keep this behavior. Like, if that's what you want to do, or if you don't have like, and if it's not him, then help me figure out who it is. That's kind of where I'm at with this. Like,
another incentive for him to cooperate is like, hey, maybe if you tell us what you know, we can just like shake hands, walk away, never talk to each other again. If you don't want to help us out, then maybe we turn you into a higher authority, and they start investigating why you're kidnapping people, and you're gonna have a lot more trouble from.
Yeah, and also like your behavior becomes why your organization is implicated in bad behavior. Like, you called in backup, which means that like now we've seen their, it's like maybe you fucked up by being this loud, going this loud. So yeah, I like that.
All right. So as you walk through the Perla Tower, taking some elevators up and then exiting on a higher floor, you approach a large tree trunk that extends from the interior of Perla Tower out and up across over a dozen stories of the skyscraper. It's a rare Yadahala tree, native to Sharoner, but a few found in other places around the world. There's a large wooden door nestled between two giant roots and dozens of smaller plants growing around it. The area has a fresh, earthy smell despite the concrete and buildings, and the branches rustle together as wind blows through them into the skyscraper's interior. There's a note taped on the front door. Good Intentions is temporarily closed due to all of its staff participating in protests against Perla Studios' recent casting decisions. We stand with Kimona Atichi and all other infused actors who are refused prominent roles for no reason other than their planar origin. Perla Studios chose Imra Inalis, an elf, to play the role of Svestra Veneer in their upcoming film, The Mushroom Wars 2: Web of the Chaos Weaver. This historical film is a story of how heroes from across Aokora, including multiple infused, save the realm from a terrifying threat. Svestra Veneer was a real person and a proud water infused, so to have an elf represent her tarnishes her memory. The staff of Good Intentions ask for your patience in these difficult times, and if so inclined, for you to join us at the central intersection on the 490th floor of Perla Tower, because only together can we bring justice. As you're all kind of reading this, the dwarf captive snickers and says, "They already got a fire infused playing the lead role. What more could the lower planers want?"
I'm gonna sucker punch, just like ass. I mean, like, that's very funny. Do you have a key? Can we get in the back, or are we just like?
I don't have a key. It's just I come here a lot. I just thought they might be willing to let me in, but I guess not. They're closed today. I wonder.
The
Can I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
If no one's here, isn't that even better for us?
But how do you get in?
If we can get in.
Well, I'm sure we can repay any damages we caused to this front door. This is R.A.T.S business, is it not?
Yeah.
How can I like know how much sway does R.A.T.S have? Are we?
Not very much. I would say you're not the most prevalent. Like there's more than one company that does what you do, and you're not the biggest fish in the pond here. Maybe like on a there's like local ones that are bigger than you. Maybe on like a global scale, you're one of the bigger ones, but your presence here is not. Like, you have competition that's more widespread and well known than you.
Well, I guess I'd leave that up to Ryota then. We don't want to ruin your good plot.
I'm thinking. I know the owner. He's a good guy. I think he wouldn't mind if we just used the place for a couple hours.
Break a back window and pay for fixing it?
I was hoping maybe I could just get in some other way. But if we have to, we can do that. I'm wondering, is there a lockpicking talent? I don't think there is, right?
Um, Stealth is the closest thing to that. So
Yeah, I
one,
have stealth. That's what I was asking. I'm like, can I can I use stealth to pick a lock?
you can spend supply to unpack a lockpicking kit. I think that's one of the items in there.
Sure.
If not, it should be.
Would there be a roof access door here?
So the building is like a tree that the base is in the skyscraper, but it kind of curves and goes outside. But it does like go up pretty high, and looking up, you do see like different windows, and there is that because it's like a tree that's also converted into a building, and there is like a kind of balcony higher up above where you're standing, where it kind of curves back. It like forms, and you do see a doorway there. Yeah, so Rio, I actually don't have a lockpicking kit in the list of like items on the website, but if you just mark off a supply, you can have a lockpicking kit. And
Lore.
then
But did you have an idea for roof stuff, Guppy? Is there some?
Guppy looks to you, points up there, and just says, I can throw you up there. It'd probably be easier. Even if you had the lockpick, less people to see. More
Sure, you know.
conspicuous.
I look down, like I look around, like the tree is growing outside the building. Yes, is that what you said?
yeah, the other side from where so you're inside the building facing the door, and the balcony is inside because
Okay.
it's like a big skyscraper, and the street you're on that's inside the skyscraper is still like 3 or 4 stories tall before the ceiling that goes to the next floor.
All right, cool. Because I was just like, I don't know if I want him throwing me in a place where like the yawning abyss is out below.
No, the abyss is on the other side. On this side,
Okay.
you know, you might take a point or two of falling damage, but
I
All
love
right,
a
sure.
yawning abyss.
Alright,
Running a
now
Mr.
I have to
Friendly.
decide. Is Guppy doing this with pure brawn, or is he doing this with magic?
With wizardry.
Please do it with magic. I don't know. If, I know you're strong, but I don't know if you're throw man 3 stories up strong. I mean, maybe you are. I don't know. You are Ant.
Yeah, I was about to say. Let me double check the. Oh yeah, no. For my. Get what they're called. No, it escapes my brain.
Talent? Is that
Yeah.
the word you're looking for? Okay.
I believe. It's the racial things, so not necessarily racial, but those things. I chose Sniffer and Forearmed. I did not choose the brawny one. So yeah, I'll go with telekinesis for this. How difficult is it for Draken to yeet our sniper up there?
so with telekinesis, you have a feature called telekinetic grasp, which basically will let you manipulate people. And since you're not in like a too much of like a time crunch, you know, you're not in like a combat scenario right here. You can just move people up one at a time, but it is a power, so you will need to make a roll to use it successfully. And let's see, because everybody, you know, I'm assuming is willing to cooperate, and the dwarf. So Magan, are you keeping your dazzle up this whole time?
Yes,
Okay.
I am AFK dazzling.
Yeah. So, Draken, I'll say this is, or, very easy fortune die.
Got it. So they will basically grip telekinetically and start throwing.
Alright, and you can just make one roll for everyone. Alright, well, it's cocked on my screen, so
Good.
success with 1 complication. Let's see. I should ask, did y'all do anything other than Mogget's Dazzle to restrain or prevent this dwarf from causing
Target
any
certainly
problem?
didn't. How's that
Um,
for you?
Yeah, I don't think we did.
I mean, I'm asking you now if you wanted to have done it, you can.
No.
Just because we kind of cut to this next scene, but...
I am unless somebody else has a strong opinion. Mogget was in charge of the dwarf, and Mogget has done nothing with the dwarf. But
yeah, I was assuming that LZ was sort of carrying him, and then Mogget was sort of keeping him complacent.
Could the
Yeah.
complication be like if Guppy they're getting everyone up here, just kind of mindlessly like, oh, there's one, there's one, there's one, up, there goes the dwarf, there's one.
Yeah,
I mean, like,
so...
Oh, I thought I was just getting thrown up there so I can go inside and unlock it from the
Unlock it
inside
from
to
the
get
inside.
everybody
Yeah, I
else
thought
in.
it was one person going up there.
Oh, sorry.
Alright.
Yeah, if it's just the one person, then a different complication would be.
Alright. Yeah, I thought I was assuming everyone else, but we'll see how it plays out. So, Ryota, you're up there. At the same time, Mogget, you feel your focus on the spell that you were concentrating on break as the dwarf has overcome your magic, and he draws that pistol that he had before. So that was the complication. Anyone can act at this point.
I'm gonna like look and be like, "Don't die, man! Don't like. What do you? What? Just what? We're trying to make a discreet. Basically, I bet you there's a way we can handle this favorably. We're now far enough away from your friends that if you make this be a fight, you're gonna die, and I don't want to kill you.
Make a roll to convince him of that.
I mean, can I throw insight to imply that I like am figuring out that he doesn't like appeal to his what he.
First, I should ask: are you using a deduction on him, or have you you've already done it? Yeah, it's like once per NPC, right? That you can use that?
Let me double check insight, but I do think it's more. I can only hit each NPC once per deduction. I only have the one deduction.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and roll insight. And this will be standard, I think.
Can I add something to this? It doesn't necessarily have to help, but I think it's somewhat humorous and could possibly lead to like intimidation being something Guppy has.
Sure.
So Guppy kind of like leans down a little bit to Mogget, and by a little bit, I mean they have to get down a little bit, more than a little bit, just because the size difference, and just asks aloud, just, do you think the beard stays on the skull?
No. No. But like, yeah. So yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Please. We don't. I really would like this to go copacetic.
So I'm with Guppy here. I could aid by being a bit intimidating.
I got a complicated success, so it's
well,
need help.
If everybody's kind of getting involved, it can be a
we could get
group roll.
Yeah, we could get a whole team involved. Group roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just I don't want to like hold my weapon, but I'll definitely like put a hand on it.
Okay, you can roll gunnery standard, and then Guppy, if you wanted to, one of your talents fits, you think?
I'm going with untalented, but this will lead into intimidation.
Cool.
Yeah,
is
eventually.
Standard.
Yeah,
standard?
untalented. Yeah, when you want to have something in the future, how you do that is fine.
Oh no! I'm gonna burn it.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
I got 2 failures as well.
Die?
Oh, okay. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
We are not de-escalating the situation.
We did it. We took a situation and made it worse. That's how we do.
All right, so that's 5 X's and 1 success. So that is a messy failure.
Mhm.
All right, so
I guess we're just offing a guy.
he
Not
will.
necessarily.
I'm trying to remember how
And he's
many
gonna try and shoot me, and I'm
complications
gonna kill
happen
him.
in this
I mean, I'm
situation.
gonna just. Oh dang it! Sorry. I'm hitting spacebar, and it's.
Oh. Give me 1 sec.
Oh, are there keybinds for the dice?
I think there are keybinds for pressing buttons. Is what happened.
Ah, I see.
I am currently cleaning my keyboard. I noticed that my keyboard could use cleaning, so that is what I'm doing as a side action to make my brain stop buzzing.
Um. All right, so
Yeah, transformer accessory time transforming it. Transform.
in a group role like this, basically like one complication happens that affects the whole team. So what happens is he fires a shot towards Mogget, and you kind of like instinctively duck, and in that moment, he uses that to get a far distance away. So you can still see him. He's like a little bit down the street. Ryota, what are you doing?
I was in the middle of about to like trying to check the door up there if it was locked. And if it was, then start working on it. But then I heard a gunshot. I was like, what the hell happened? I've been gone for 20 seconds.
And just like you just get tossed up there, and if you look back down, then it's all chaos. The moment you're gone.
Oh,
I
and
look over.
right after the gunshot, you just hear the dwarf say, "What a bunch of fucking amateurs."
All right. Once he resorted to insults, then I got mad. Like, damn it. So here we go. I am going to pull out I always got that thing on me. Pull out my briefcase, grab the grip of the gun, and it sort of assembles itself, and I just aim at him, and I say, "You're gonna want to stop there," and I would like to fire a warning shot.
All right, so
I am now high up. This is where I am like, at my best, actually.
Yeah.
all right, with the
Final
high ground, I'll make this an easy roll for you, because you can see pretty far down both the streets, and
Is that critical?
Yeah. Wait. I thought that wasn't.
Yes.
Oh wait, no. Okay, it is.
yeah, because the fortune die is a 10 or higher. Result. So that is a critical success with no complications. So you fire a shot, and how?
Trim his hair.
He's like running, and he turns back to look, and as he's kind of like leaning halfway back, the bullet goes through his beard, and now there's a bullet hole in his beard, and he like stops. He kind of like jumps back in shock, and the pistol flies out of his hand, and it actually falls between the building and bounces a bit, and then goes off the side, off like a balcony, and tumbles into the abyss. And he just holds up his hands, and he's like, all right, fine. You got sniper support on me. I can't do anything about that.
I just want to shout to him like, "We just want to have a conversation."
Can I just go kind of gather him, and I'll walk him back to the party, and I'll whisper in his ear. Ryota's had a couple hard days recently. I'd really ask you to refrain from making any further insults.
He says, yeah, well, that makes 2 of us.
Yeah, so I want to just try and get out of the. I'll even say to him, let's not make this a scene. We both work for companies that would rather this not be a scandal. It's already probably more of a scandal than we want it to be. let's try and figure this out,
And
like not.
oh,
not-
which company did you work for again?
I'm working for R.A.T.S, but as an associate. Is the guy that we're working for? Do we have the name of the guy whose kid they stole?
Mm-hmm.
What's his name?
Plakir. So he's basically like a chauffeur that works for various wealthy people.
Sure.
But like,
he,
like a what's the word? Like it's just him. Like he doesn't work with or for. I mean, he has
he's independent.
clients. Yeah, independent contractor type of thing.
Yeah.
Basically.
So, but like, okay, so we're saying like, well, it's like rats and an individual with enough money to hire rats. I don't know if that's like, you know, obviously you guys have brought up whatever this organization. I mean, at this point, you've acted suspiciously enough that we like. I'm assuming that you are doing some amount of. You have some connection or some knowledge of what has happened to our friend, but people, rats and their clientele are starting to notice that you're stealing people, kidnapping people. So,
All right. Then let's have a chat in this restaurant, I guess.
I assume people heard these gunshots. Perhaps we should take this conversation inside
that's
sooner
what I'm saying.
rather
Let's
than
make
later.
let's bring down the heat level just a little bit so that we don't make more of a scene. If nothing else, my guy, we've made a scene now, and you're trying to not make a scene. Let's work with each other and not make a scene, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
So, Ryota, you want to take a look at this door?
Yep, I just want to check. Is the door in the balcony locked?
It is locked. So
Great.
but you can pull out a lockpicking kit and make a stealth roll to try to pick it. This will be standard.
Cool. Dang.
So you can spend stamina or get help from somebody else if anyone can help with one of their talents.
I will. I don't think anyone's else, unfortunately, in a position to help me. Unfortunately, I'll try using one stamina. There we go.
That'll do it. It's a little. We'll say that the complication is that you break your lockpick. So if you want to pick a door again, you'll need to spend another supply to get another one. But with a little bit of fiddling, you're able to pop it open. So the balcony kind of leads to the living quarters of the owner, who you know by the name of Balza. But you see kind of there's like a bed and like a desk, and then in the back there's like a staircase leading down into the restaurant proper.
Cool. I'm just gonna quickly go down the stairs and open up the front door for my friends to come inside.
Yep. You're able to do so. So in the the main area of the restaurant, there's a bunch of different tables. Each one has a different flower growing out of the table itself. There's kind of like a bar at the back, and then behind that a door leading into a kitchen, as well as that staircase that you saw Ryota come down.
All right. Take a seat. Don't make a mess. This is a good place. I don't want to mess with them.
He sits down, puts his hands in his pockets, kind of slumps into the chair. All right.
So I'm just like, I want to make this be quiet. If you're gonna be kidnapped, let's say, if your organization is kidnapping people, I need you to be a little more careful about who you're kidnapping, because if they have wealthy friends and family, you get in trouble. I'm gonna, I'm gonna, I don't, I can not bring this up to anybody else, to any other interested parties, if you're willing to tell me if you know anything about a goblin child.
Blind.
Sorry, what was that?
Blind.
Blarm is
His
a
name
goblin
is
child.
Blind.
Well, your sniper there seems pretty competent, but the rest of you, way out of your league. Look, I don't know who hired you or what, but we're not doing any kidnappings. You're completely on the wrong path here.
I don't know. That didn't sound very convincing to me.
I mean, I can.
Let me
Oh.
talk to him. Says Guppy, a massive ant person wielding a two-handed hammer on one side of their body.
I'm trying to avoid complete threats of violence at this point.
I'll avoid. I won't threaten him.
Oh, okay.
So, Guppy's going to stride up, his shadow looming over. He's going to look down and go, please, 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 please tell us where he is.
Oh God.
I already messed this up kind of bad. I threw the person who hired us into a chair.
Oh, all right. We don't need to. We don't need to get into that right now.
Listen, it's just like a kid. Not like a kid, but you know what I mean. I think.
So if this isn't let me be. If I'm confused. If it's not kidnapping, who did the kid agree? Is your implication that the kid agreed?
Look, I don't even know what kid you're talking about. There's lots of goblin children running around. All of Hezhane.
Yeah.
Maybe if you could tell me more about the person who hired you, I might be able to give you some more information. But
No, I don't think that's necessary.
If we said pretty please, we're just like really going out of our way to be diplomatic, or like, would that help?
look, unless y'all have any corporate leverage, there's not much more you can do.
All right.
They
Listen.
made me promise not to threaten you, and it's getting really hard right now.
Hold on a second.
Bad cop stuff.
Please listen. I am getting the impression that we've all gotten a little bit more involved in any of this than any of us wanted. So, what I'm proposing is that you can tell us where this Blarn goblin fella ended up, and in exchange, we let you walk out of here, no questions asked. We don't even worry about ever talking to each other again. If you don't want to talk to us, then we're going to have to turn you into some authority who might have a little bit more, perhaps less, I should say, a little bit less compassion for your situation.
That's a question. Do we have a? I mean, I guess we can just like send them into the fucking rats. But like, who do we go to?
So he says, Yeah, authority. Like maybe Perla Studios, who owns and operates everything going on in this tower. Like maybe the person that's the people that hired the principal associates that I work for. Yeah, the authority. I'm real scared of them.
This. So like, can I get a like deal? We could like extradite him. We can maybe extradite him to the other tower, and that would be obnoxious to him. But the problem is that he's in a tower that he's being hired. Like he has, like, I'm more worried about saying, like, my threat to him is your organization caught. Like, this is okay. Yeah. Well, you keep calling us amateur, but we caught you, and we like have you in a room, and we now know that. And because you called for backup, we now know the organization that you're working for. So if we wanted to like make a mess for them because you're not talking, which is totally reasonable, then that would be their problem. So you've kind of like you've made a mess of the situation for both us, and yourself, and yourself, and for your parent company. I'm just like a little confused about how we're supposed to, like, why you're so combative at this point.
Let me clear a few things up for you. I didn't make a mess of anything. I've just been doing my job. You're the ones who are making a mess of the situation. You're the ones who are going to have to answer to the higher authority. You're the ones whose organization is going to have a problem with the mess you've been making. And if you don't let me go and return and give a full report to principal associates of everything I've seen and done in this past hour or so, I might have to provide.
Do you have? So is your implication that that Perla Towers endorses kidnapping? Because we could do that.
Look, I don't know anything about kidnapping, but I work for Principal Associates. Principal Associates is a contractor for Perla Studios. We provide security services and other operations as needed.
Can I try something?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely, obviously.
So I want to step up close to him, and I'll just put my finger around this bullet hole on his chest, and I'll say, you probably haven't even realized this yet, but you've been shot. And you're right, I am an amateur. I've done just enough to where you don't feel it right now, but I don't know if you even have an hour to get to a proper doctor who might save your life. So you know we're looking for information. Why don't you just tell us the best? Just give us the best piece of information you have, and we'll let you go in time to save your life.
We're allowed to make threats. Yuppie.
Make a roll, and you can use healing or gunnery to try to convince him to share more information, which is very clever.
I'll use healing,
and I'll make this one easy for you, given that everything you're saying is accurate about him being shot and playing into the amateur. Well, yeah, let's make it very easy, actually. Well, the forge dice.
Well, I rolled success with a complication. My talent die was a success.
Wait, I think on my screen the fortune die is a success.
That's what I meant. Sorry, the fortune die was a success.
All right, so we'll go with that. Okay. So he says, well, let's see, you said it was a goblin kid? I think it was a week ago? Look, alright, so I'm being paid to keep an eye on that business. And I have noticed a goblin kid who comes in every now and then. The last time was about a week ago. They're not asking me to take notes on people who come and go or anything like that. Just report anything suspicious. Nothing suspicious about that goblin kid. You went in a little bit later. He left. No different than any of the other times he's been there. Just not seen him since
Okay.
that time a week ago.
Can we huddle up?
Yeah,
So
Pocket is like
maybe we
very
just need to
annoying.
play the connection. Mention the cab driver's name. See who's connected. I'm just worried that this is going to put the cab driver in danger.
Can I threaten him now?
I mean,
It's not
it
really
seems.
a threat. It's more like an anecdote.
I think you're fine. I mean, like at this point, we're threatening him, but
Yeah, I can push him for more information. Why not?
yeah,
Okay, so Draken, they're gonna go
Pocket
over
is
to the
threatening.
dwarf,
Mm-hmm.
gonna squat down to them, and say, "I think it's weird your bones are on the inside. I like bones. I like them when they're on the outside, like mine." And he taps his own exoskeleton. But there's a lot of squishy bits to get through sometimes. I don't know. They call me Skull Taker. I think it's a little hurtful. I just like bones. And I wonder, does the beard connect to your jawbone? I've not checked that kind of thing before. And
Go ahead and make a roll. And I'll make this one easy, given your tall, imposing form.
A success with one complication.
Okay. Oh, I didn't tell you the complication last time, but it'll be the same complication this time, which is he's telling you information, but he's giving a lot of extraneous detail, and you start to get the sense he's trying to waste your time. So that's 2 ticks into a clock. And he says, "Look, I told you everything I knew about the Goblin Kid. I don't know what other leads you're investigating or if there's anything else I've seen there that might be of use to you, but if you give me a bit more to work for, then maybe I can be a bit more helpful. I've been watching that place for..."
Can I detect whether or not he is like this? Like this is literally like this. Can I see if this is true-ish? If he looks like he's lying?
Yeah, make a roll.
Insight. I mean, it's gonna be insight.
Mhm.
I'm gonna get. How hard?
This will be standard.
I'm gonna pop my favor for easy.
Okay. Wait, is that the... Oh, no, that's the different. Okay. He's, actually... A sec. So... Yeah. So you're kind of been watching him, and you get the sense that he's the last 2 rolls, he hasn't told any lies in that information. You seem to believe that he saw the Goblin Kid go in and out, doesn't know anything else more about him. But you do suspect that, that was the last place anyone has reported seeing Barm. This guy's been watching Oasis in a Bottle for a few weeks now.
I just wanted to make sure that he thinks this is the next step in Goblin left, and now we can trust him somewhat to be that he doesn't know anything that happened to that Goblin, and we can just say, and like, so which means that he doesn't have anything against us. We can say, I can go. I'm happy to mention the. I'll say to my teammates, I'm happy to mention the cab driver and say, don't blame the cab driver for our behavior, but this is the cab driver.
Yeah. So basically, like the thing you said, where it's like certain there. You suspect he probably has seen something that would be useful to you, but he wouldn't know what that would be. You mentioned the cab driver, and he's like, "That okay, that's fine. I don't know any cab drivers or goblin cab drivers or their kids."
Okay.
And I guess one other thing is like, you still don't know. Now that you're convinced like he's not kidnapping goblins off the street,
Sure.
you still don't know why he's watching that place.
Can I access my knowledge about the organization, the principal?
Yeah. What
I
talent?
have two.
Two general knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So in Hezhane, there is technically a centralized government, but it's like a voting council of 1,000 people. Mostly it's the corporations that are in charge. And there's no public police force or military. There are a variety of different private companies that offer those kinds of services to the corporations. So like Principal Associates is one of several of these kind of paramilitary groups that work for Perla Tower in a variety of different roles. So it's like in one sense he's kind of the closest thing to a cop here, but also his paycheck is paid by the corporation and serves their interests more than the people's. So
And it's paramilitary security force that happens
Yeah.
to do police work for the sake of the smooth running business.
So I guess so that's kind of the general idea. So that's like number one. The second detail would be that, kind of keying off that, you imagine that whatever he was doing there was in the interest of Perla Studios.
Yeah. I mean,
And like, just to clarify, like the genie in the Oasis in the bottle, that place is like, I say it's like kind of illegal because it's like there have been places like that before that Perla Studios will send people like Principal Association to shut down. So if they just sent these people in and shut that place down, they're certainly capable of doing that. But instead, they've just had him watching this place.
to me, it looks like a honey trap kind of thing where there's like, if there are people go there that they shouldn't be going there, then like if somebody in the organization is like a red flag for someone in their organization if they go there, but I don't know.
So, tell me, if you're not there to kidnap people, why the hell are you bothering to sit around and watching the outside of a magical spa, basically? Who cares? Why does Perla Towers care about that?
That's classified.
What? I'm sorry, I couldn't quite understand what you said.
That's classified.
Well,
None of our business. Yeah.
And certainly nothing to do with your goblin kid. So whenever
somehow
you're
I
done messing with the big leagues and ready to go back to whatever hole you rats climbed out of.
That we did.
I'm not allowed to go back to my home. Oh, wait, are you talking about the building?
Rats.
Working? Oh,
I don't care.
Talking about the rats building. He doesn't care. Fair enough.
can I throw him?
I don't think you can throw him. I appreciate wanting to throw him. He's been most unhelpful. And he made this much more complicated than he needed to. But we shouldn't throw him. We really shouldn't throw him.
Thank you. I don't like hurting people, but sometimes I really want to. And he looks at the dwarf. I'm moderately sorry for wondering if your beard is connected to your skull.
He looks at you, kind of tilts his head, and just like stares at you and says, "Apology accepted."
Okay. What am I doing?
Have we gotten his name yet?
Nope.
I don't know that we have. I don't know
My
that I
name's
want to.
Draken, but most people call me Guppy. Who are you?
Are you gonna threaten me again if I don't tell you?
No.
All right. Then you don't even know.
You understand a strange incentivization you've created.
I don't know what I want to know from him.
I guess I should tell you my full name then, Draken the Devourer. I don't like the other ones they call me. I guess you know Skull Taker too.
What are we?
I don't know. Skull Taker is pretty.
I'm at a loss for like. Is your business there anything to do with like schools, or does somebody else? Did you saw nothing else suspicious?
Can I use do something weird? I want to look at my watch and like see a few seconds into the future to identify if a question is going to be helpful. And by that I mean use the forewarn feature to protect somebody.
You're doing the equivalent of skipping like 5 seconds ahead in a YouTube video to get to like, okay, let's get to the point of the tutorial.
Yeah, basically. So I'm just basically I just want to protect from complications from whatever the next roll is for. Let's say can't be me. It has to be someone else. Margit. Margit seems like the person who's been talking to him the most. So I would like to use that feature.
That's a power.
Yeah. One second.
I'll make this one easy for you because you kind of have control of the situation. This is a place you're familiar with. Okay. So, Margit, you gain the protected condition.
But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to.
Margit starts to ask a question. I'm like, hold on, he's not going to answer that one. Don't bother.
Is Perla cool with people just getting kidnapped like that? Like we're missing a dude. Are you not concerned about the missing dude in Perla Tower?
I'll be concerned about them if they pay me to investigate.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured.
To be fair, that's kind of what we're doing.
But we could pay you.
We care.
Why don't you ask him who does pay him? Maybe we just need to go up the chain.
Perla pays him through the company we saw. I can't.
Principal.
I think we need a meeting.
Yeah, I guess we could just be like, hey, can we chat with your boss, see if they care about this incident? I really did want this to be a peaceful interaction. I am sorry that it kind of went south, though. You were way more standoffish than you needed to, my guy. If you didn't kidnap a guy, but can we maybe do that? Have a chat with your boss about kidnappings? Is that at all interesting? Seem like your boss's interest?
I mean, you can go to principalassociates.com and try to schedule an appointment with them.
Yeah, that's.
I think you can do better than that.
What do we call you in our report? I don't think Jackass is good enough, and you won't give us your name.
All right, I can give you my name, or I can help you get an appointment with my boss, but I'm not going to do both of those things.
Get us an appointment with anybody your boss, someone who makes decisions.
The actually important one.
But yeah.
I'm sorry, that was me not rushing out in anger. He turns to the dwarf and about lowers his head a little bit. He's just really frustrating me. My friend here, this is Margaret. My friend here is being really nice. You're being really mean.
I think we're gonna have to let him go. I don't want to. I think
Wait,
pissing
well,
off.
let's get this meeting set up.
Yeah, with the meeting, with the trying to get a meeting, some sort of meeting with a decision maker.
He's got a bullet wound. Shouldn't we patch it up first?
You patched it up somewhat already, right?
Yeah, we did a reasonable. There was a little bit of a lie about how patched up it is. He's
Yeah, no, I was bluffing there. I mean, unless healing magic doesn't work.
Guppy does not get that. Like, oh no, he might. That was only a little bit patched up. He might be dead in an hour.
Oh, bio? Do we want a bio?
Yeah, so what we'll say is he will pull out his spell phone, or actually let's say, okay, and he gives you like a email address and says, put this in the header. That'll get him to pay attention, and when I get back, I'll talk to him about making a meeting available tomorrow morning. Does that work?
Yeah, yes, that works. And so I'm gonna pay him I'm gonna give him a gold and be like, sorry, this is a mess. You could have been more helpful, certainly.
Well, your crazy robot could have not pulled a gun on me.
Yeah, you're not wrong, but
You should really get that thing checked out. It's really weird the way it's acting.
yes, I know that. That's why it's doing security work and not healing work, my guy.
He looks down at the bullet wound healed by the robot.
Yeah.
So I do have a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
I do have a question of what everyone's spell phone looks like distinctly, because I feel like we each have a different looking one. If I were to go first, I'd say it's the equivalent of like a really old ass Nokia that's the weight of a brick, like the thickness of a spell book for Guppy.
Yeah.
Mine's integrated.
Yeah. That makes sense. I think Margaret has a bedazzled, like kind of retro, but like intentionally retro. It's like nice for retro, and it is bedazzled.
It's like a modern
Notice
phone, but with a retro phone case around it. So it looks
It's like I did like I feel like like styled like with those old see-through Game Boys maybe, and like I bet like 4 little like phone charms and like stickers and maybe a rhinestone or two. Very bedazzled.
Riotis is boring and black.
Alright, I mean, so yeah, if y'all let him go, he'll head out and we can do a bio break unless there's anything else y'all wanted to ask him before he leaves.
Immediately. No.
Yeah, let's just make it seem like no one was ever here, though.
Yeah, clean up after ourselves.
That's fair enough. Okay, you'll take care of that, and then we'll be back in 5 minutes.
So,
Yeah.
briefly, just be it around the office or during our investigation, I imagine Guppy's trying to make just small talk with LZ and just looks to him after a few seconds and goes, "So when ants die, they produce oleic acid. It's the chemical that tells them they're dead. And yeah, so if you were to like have a lot of it in one place, I just think someone has died. It doesn't really matter what it's coding. It's just kind of like I can't help it. It's like, imagine you have a body in front of you and someone tells you, yeah, they're not dead. They're not dead. But you see it. That's kind of like how it is for me, you know? So that's why I don't get cereal anymore. There's a lot of oleic acid in cereal. It's pretty morbid.
Oh no.
I thought you'd enjoy that because it's like a medical fact.
A chemical signal.
Yeah.
I've never heard of such a thing. I guess we're all different in that way.
Yeah, I pick up on a lot of chemical signals. I like how your vision's acute. My sense of smell is acute. Or, well, I'm not really sure what senses you have that are acute.
I can tell you that there are more colors in this room than most of the rest of you are probably seeing.
Yeah, that's kind of how I am with like sense. And he kind of like awkwardly like sips at a cup of water. 6 cents, bros, or I guess it's still 5. He extends one of his many limbs to fist bump you.
I'll fist bump you and also say I can tell you that old spell phone of yours produces a lot more noise than the more modern ones, but I don't mind it.
I desire the extra colors. Give me the extra colors. I'm missing out.
If I ever lose my hammer, I can like take one of your socks. Not yours, but like the other people's. Put this in there, and I have an impromptu weapon. I saw it on the internet.
What?
You hear
It's an entirely accurate statement to the setting that they could have seen it on the internet.
You hear Miss Agavni shout from the front room, "Get back to work! We ain't paying you to lollygag."
Yeah, we should bolt out of here, huh?
Yeah. Guppy will like pseudo like skitter out, haven't been called out.
All right, so you have a little more than half a day before your meeting. Is there anything you want to do during that time? Any other places you want to go to or investigate? Anything else you want to do? Not enough time for an activity, but you can. Go ahead.
What? How long? Isn't there patch up? How long? It's minutes.
Yeah,
I could patch up.
You can definitely do minutes or hours activities, but not enough time for a day activity. Or we could just skip straight to the next day and.
Can I
No,
use?
I probably don't want to patch up. I need the stamina.
I would like to try augury.
Okay.
Because I have a few minutes. Just like find a larger mirror than the one I have on my watch, and it says I get to ask a yes or no question about a specific event within the next 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to like look at myself in like the bathroom mirror at some point when like nobody else is in there, and just like look, just be like, are they gonna try to kill us the second we walk into this meeting?
I'm sorry, when you said just when no one's looking, the first thing that came to mind is like the Monsters Inc. I'm always watching you, Mike Wazowski. With our resident rat.
So you look into the mirror, and you see yourself and your group walking into this building. You head past some desks and into kind of a more nicer looking office, and you sit down at a table there. There's a the man with a long curly mustache who's kind of like shaking his head, and then he reaches under his desk and pulls out a bag and drops it on the table in front of you, and you see yourself open it up, and it's like full of runes.
Huh.
And then the vision ends.
All right. That's good to know. Interesting. All right. Well, well, in that case, I'm just gonna go back and try to finish all the paperwork I'm behind on that I have to finish doing before we head out.
Maga wants to go find a suitable thing to offer to her patron. I don't know that we've gotten anything particularly interesting on that front. So I might just, I guess I might just like talk about the friends and rats, like the slowly the bonds I'm making in rats with patron. Yeah, that's all I have for now. You're muted.
You sense a request for. I mean, it's not in words, but the feeling you get is like, "Hey, do you mind if I drive for a little bit?
Going what?
Do you mind if I drive for a little bit?"
I mean, I don't I don't mind the patron driving a little bit.
So you're kind of watching as you kind of get up from your desk and walk, and you kind of peek around a corner of a door, and you just overhear that interaction between LZ and
Yeah.
Guppy, and just listen in it, and you're like chuckling in a way that like you're not causing it. You don't.
Yes.
I mean, maybe you find it funny, maybe you don't, but your body is chuckling, and you feel a sense of enjoyment, and as you feel kind of the feeling come back to your body, and you return to yourself, you get a sense of that was fun. Maybe I could try doing that with someone else.
Yeah. I'll make a point of eavesdropping on shit that is interesting to the thing. So. Oh, he wants to drive somebody else?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's also available too, possibly.
Chris, do I have time to talk to the engram in my head regarding some medical facts?
Yeah.
I just want to question the old doctor about oleic acid. I want to figure out, my goal is to figure out something that can neutralize oleic acid so that Guppy can enjoy cereal again.
Make a healing roll, and I'll make this very easy.
Perfect success.
All right. You.
And I imagine I just hear the sort of like mumbling of like a chemistry professor or something. Like he's been like, oleic acid. Yes, I need this or like whatever.
So this is not based on any real science whatsoever, but in this world, you immediately sense the data for the compound cesium hydroxide, which will nullify oleic acid.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'll,
and like, I don't know specifically what you have planned or how to use it, but like it would kind of work for what you want, whatever that
okay.
may be.
Yeah. So just as we're like kind of moving around town, I'll approach you, Guppy, and just say, cesium hydroxide. Just a few sprinkles into your morning cereal, and you should be back to enjoying it. No thoughts of death or anything unpleasant like that.
Oh, thank you so much. That means so much. I used to be really hooked on this stuff, but like after people started calling me names about it, I've stopped eating it. So thank you so much. I get to eat cereal. I get to experience how that tastes without feeling bad. Thank you.
Of course, Guppy.
Now, would you rate your doctor's performance on a scale from 0 to 5?
Guppy writes the paperwork for it and puts down a glowing review.
So as you kind of get this answer from Leaf, Kaden, there's a lingering sense of you experience a memory of being in a laboratory mixing some chemicals, one of them being the cesium hydroxide, and you hear a voice say, hey, is that Dexoctamine almost ready? The patient's going to need it soon. And you recognize that voice as the voice of the person that you saw at Oasis in the bottle this morning. And then the vision or the memory kind of ends.
Okay.
Alright, so with that, everybody will need to do the end the day activity as you go to sleep. And once that's done, we can move into the next scene.
Can we establish something real fast about Draken?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Can he sleep in his office? Can he just be asleep in the chair, and then the moment his alarm goes off, it's like the exact minute he's supposed to clock in as well?
Let's say that he's been told not to do that once or twice before, but that doesn't mean he can still do that despite those warnings. But yeah.
I feel like he'd still do that.
Okay. Then in that case, you don't need to mark. I mean, so does he not have a place to live essentially?
I feel like he'd be more comfortable at the office because he knows when he wakes up his friends are going to be there. I feel like he has more than enough funds for like a decent apartment, but like he has his own little space right here. He doesn't need anything too big, and it legitimately is, okay, I go to sleep, my work is done, I wake up, oh, my friends are here, we're going back on the job.
Gotcha. Well, it's just that the whenever you end the day, you need to spend one wealth to have a safe place to sleep. That's essentially like paying rent.
Can we have that be the penalty of like of it like being like, Guppy, if you keep doing this, we're gonna dock your pay.
Yeah, that works. Yeah, so if
It
you
ends up costing the same amount just because it's docked pay rather than
yeah,
eventually.
definitely. So if you click the under activities, click perform next to end the day. It'll walk you through that. So the next morning comes, and you head to your appointment. And I mean, you've probably experienced this before, Ryota, but maybe it's still a little unsettling because it plays out pretty much exactly like you saw in the mirror. You all arrive at this building. There's a big sign, Principal Associates at the top. As you kind of head in, there's like people moving around. Some of them are. Go ahead.
Sorry, can I before we go in, can I just like use one of my features, like just
Yeah.
like as we're like outside the building about to go inside?
Definitely.
Can I use battle plan,
Okay.
create a strategy, so that everyone is prepared for this negotiation that we have coming up?
Yeah.
I just
So
want to do like, all right, y'all. So I saw a vision that they don't appear much to my surprise that they are going to be hostile when we get in there, and if somebody's going to be offering us a lot of money for something. So just be prepared for that. Be polite. We're not here to cause trouble because they're not here to cause trouble.
Do we
But
take
still,
bribes?
Yes.
we might. We'll see. It depends on the bribe and what they want us to be doing. Like I said, I don't know. The visions aren't always perfectly informative. I get flashes, brief things, but I was just checking to make sure that they're not going to shoot us on sight. And they're not. So hey, that at least gives us the impression that, like, they're willing to speak with us. They have something they want us to do, or something they want us to keep quiet about. We have something that they want, and so that means that we're not just going in here completely useless. All right. I don't know exactly what they want from us, but they want something, and that's leverage. That's good.
I'm
All
into
right.
that.
Sound good? All right.
Yep.
And then we head inside. Wait. Can anybody else hear Chris?
sorry. No, I was muted. My bad.
Okay.
I
was like,
this
he's
closer. So.
Thinking really hard about what he's about to say.
Okay, so you head inside. Lots of people moving around. Some of them are armed and seem like they're heading out for field duty. Others are managing paperwork. Some are taking phone calls. But the secretary directs you down a hallway to kind of an office where the field chief, whose name I wrote down somewhere, Apollo Gianta, has his office there. And as you enter, let's see, give me 1 sec. He says, oh, are you those folks that Arcadia let me know about?
That would be us, yes.
Alright, so what are you looking for? What are you
We're
trying to figure out?
Well, we had the concern that someone was kidnapped from the from the area around where
Oasis
your
Nevada?
operative was. And there was some miscommunication between us and him, and it got a little out of hand. Much apologies for that. and we were hoping to find if he had any or you had any idea of what happened to one goblin child name here.
Blarm.
Blarn.
Blarm, the son
Fakir.
of goblin adult here name here. I'm so sorry.
Um,
Here,
Bakir.
Piglet.
Right.
But Bakir. If you seem to have some surveillance in the area, and it would certainly give you goodwill to the to the fine establishment that he runs, and also I'd be happy to pay or like find some other compensation to you for this information.
Okay. And Arcadia said you are with rats.
That is who we work with.
So he puts his hands in his head in his hands and gives a long sigh. Reaches into his drawer, pulls out a cigarette and lights it, and takes a smoke. Look, I like rats. I really do. You do good work, and you take care of problems that sometimes we're not able to get to for whatever reason. But being a free agency like yourselves, you're not used to dealing with some of the people that we have to deal with. You're not used to dealing with some of the problems we have to deal with. You know, I'm sorry to hear about your Blarm. Probably a good kid. And, you know, keep looking into it. Keep seeing what you can find. If there's anything you think I can do to help out with that, I'm happy to provide what resources I can. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to ask you to stay away from Arcadio and Oasis in the Bottle. Not go back there. Not ask any questions. It's for your own good.
Interesting. Now you understand that makes it like it's significantly more suspicious.
Look, I'd love to help you. I really would. But this is something that if you go digging into, you're going to cause more problems than yourself than you know what to deal with. What, how much is Pakir paying you?
Do we have that number?
He said I think it was 3 wealth, if I remember correctly.
For each of you, is what he said.
For each of us.
Yeah, I can. If you can agree to stay away, and Arcadia will let me know if you don't. I'll pay each of you 10 wealth.
Can we like have a little?
And he does the same thing that you saw in the vision, where he pulls out the bag and drops it on the table.
Can we like have a little like powwow about this real quick?
Yeah.
Like both meta. More for me, I want like more of a meta powwow than like a in character powwow.
Sure. He you know, if you say like, oh, we need some time to discuss, he's like, yeah, that's fine, and he'll step out of his office for a bit.
Yeah, but like. Because this is a story. This is like a decision. Like, whatever.
This
I don't
right
know.
here establishes our character a little bit.
Yeah, and like both the kind of story. Like, there's two things. One is how much the stakes we want to play for. Because we could keep it a little lower stakes, just accept this, move on, and then continue to do the game, and like find another problem. Be like, sorry, we lost him, and move forward and just like have a pretty low like a little lower stakes. Or we could, you know, like I feel like I have a tendency to like want a little calmer stories. But also I'm lame and I'm playing D&D and I'm trying to turn down the call of adventure, you know. So like, except the other thing is like, but like the problem is that if we're trying to accept the call of adventure, like maybe the answer is to take the money and then like still go looking, because if we don't, if we don't take the money, that's a red flag for him. But like, you get what I'm saying. Like, do we want to, like, are we trying to do the start shit with a company with the boss, or are we?
I mean, I didn't expect to be dealing with something this high up so soon, but at the same time, my character is distrustful, and I just this like an hour and a half ago changed his destiny to be root out corruption in the city. So
Sure.
Also,
I'm like,
we might lose our jobs if we take this.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
so I feel like we gotta refuse, but I think
Well, or like, is refusing? How do we politely refuse in a way that doesn't be like, and now we're going to start a fight with you personally, rather than like, like, it seems like if we're gonna refuse, the way to refuse is to accept it and then like ignore the fucking. Like,
That's
'cause that's
definitely making an enemy, though.
But he, the 10 gold is not a big deal to this, as big a deal to this guy as us not getting involved. And so us getting involved is making the enemy upper plus or minus.
So yeah, what Jay is saying, we're getting involved either way, so we might as well take the money.
It's like he's gonna be a 10 angry at us either way. What the fuck does, like, we could try and make this like a, I'm sorry, we can't, like, I can't accept this money. We'll try to keep out of this particular interest, but we'll continue looking for the kid. And like that's a way to like try and keep it copacetic, but we're gonna probably, like, I'm probably gonna go talk to the fucking, I want to go be friends with that, with the genie. Like, I'm like, the genie looks like a friend, so I want to be. Yeah, like,
Yeah,
certainly.
basically, we don't want to do what this person is telling us to do, but I have 0 wealth now, so.
Me too. We also have money problems.
Chris, can LZ1 interact with office technology in like a hacking sort of way?
Sure. So what I would say is that like you have the physical capability to do that, but because that's something that your body was not built for, it would be like an untalented role. But you know,
Can I make an untalented roll while the party is discussing taking this money or not? Can I make an untalented roll to access, password locked company information here in an effort to identify an employee who is constantly under scrutiny, somebody who is maybe not, who's present or is somewhere that we can find them, who is not in good graces with this company at the moment. Like, I'm trying to find a whistleblower type person.
okay. So this place definitely takes security seriously. So I'm gonna say this is a very hard roll unless you have anything else. You know, if you're just trying to like brute force the password by putting all your processors towards it or something like that, this would be very hard. If you have any other strategies to make that at times a little bit easier, you can let me know.
So I just want to say I come up upon the security measures, and I get the party's opinion. I can try to hack their systems and figure out somebody who might help us more than Apollo if we choose not to take his money. But I just, as a word of warning, if I'm discovered, we may have to make a quick exit. Should I do this?
Are you good at that kind of thing? I've never seen you do that before.
I didn't even know I could do this. But I've been feeling around in the cracks, and I think I may have found one.
Interesting. I mean, I guess
Yeah,
you
this
know
is a-
your
this is-
capabilities better than I do.
Is it illegal? Are we doing an illegal?
What's illegal mean? We're certainly upsetting the dominant power structure in this building. Is that what we mean by illegal?
I would encourage you in the future to pursue the hacking talent, but I don't know if I would recommend doing that today.
Laws. What's the stupid quote?
Laws are threats made by the prominent or social
Dominant socioeconomic group.
Anyway, go look that up if you're not familiar with it. It's Brennan Lee Mulligan. He's got a great quote.
It's one of the best quotes of one of the best D&D moments maybe of all time. It's very good. I mean, it's like dumb. It's mostly just him, Brennan Lee Mulligan, being anti-capitalist, but.
So I will say this is a untalented, very hard roll. Would be rolling 2d4, which has a 43% chance of success.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to like.
That's actually a pretty decent chance of success right there.
But that chance of success on either die, if you want to not get any complications, then that's going to be a
Basically zero.
6% chance of success. Sorry,
Oh,
you have a 43% chance of success and a 6% chance of no complications.
I
So
would
that's
I would
rolling
prefer
for a
not to like
curve there.
start a fight right here. I would like to be a little less.
Maybe we can get
I mean,
you
like
some
if
upgrades
that's
to
the
make
way
you,
it's gonna go, it's gonna go. But I would like to be slightly less.
overt today while we're in the building.
Yeah, like violent as a like or like. I don't know. It's fine. If we're going to be, that's fine. But at least Morgan's like, can we maybe not? I want to try. And
We'll get you some upgrades that'll help you be better at that. Elsie. Maybe we'll try again.
Okay, I'll practice back at R.A.T.S.
Those odds are not factoring in spending stamina to reroll or getting a from an ally. Neither of those will remove complications, though. Unless you roll 2 4s on 2d4, you will have complications.
Yeah.
All right, so it seems like we're having at the thing. We take the deal,
Take the deal.
but perhaps not.
I'm
permanently.
like I'm happy to try and decline politely and say we're gonna keep looking into the goblin. So I don't want to like step on your toes, but we need the money so bad. We don't have time to like.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I spent like $20 on cereal.
That's, I'm trying
That's
to
like
think, how much?
4 boxes.
I haven't bought cereal in a little bit. I'm like, how much cereal is that? I don't think it's that
4
much.
boxes.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah.
It's a really tough choice.
And
Why he presented it to us, that bastard.
I mean that's good. Yeah.
I mean, it's only like Tegan's been giving me a lot of really hard. I mean,
Yeah,
partially
me-
Tegan,
yeah.
partially y'all in the Pandemonium campaign. Anyway.
But like this is session 4, my guy. And we are. If I had a single D8, I would be significantly more likely to pick a fight. But I have no D8s. I am trying to establish myself. Also, the fact that we're like poor and desperate is like real weird. It's real weird to be like.
When I first started designing Volition, one of the goals that I had for it was I want it to be like when a PC donates money to a person on the street or whatever, it to be meaningful and not just, oh, I have 1,000 gold, here's 10 gold, and that's the most money you've ever seen in your entire life.
Yeah.
So it feels good to see that kind of working a little bit.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I like that. I do like that, where I'm like, the fact that I've been very generous with my money with people has a consequence. And I like that.
It gives it meaning when you do be generous. But,
Yeah. I'm tempted to politely turn down, maybe spend a day making money, externally, because you can just do that,
Right.
and then continue our investigation some other direction. But I don't have.
We don't have any
Um,
leads.
we have no leads. The problem, other than going talk to the fucking. Do I have contact with? Can I with the genie? Given that he has contact with my friend.
I don't think you like like level 1 telepathy is you can communicate with people telepathically. I'm not gonna give you that, but like if that's a talent you wanted to pursue, you could, and then you could just contact people, your friend, anyone your friend's talking. But right now, no, you would need some other.
I'm like, just like, can I send him a text message? You know what I'm saying? Can I send him? Can I get him my text? Can I give him a warning over text message? But
Wait, can we clarify something real quick?
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
If y'all are thinking take the money, you're thinking take the money and forget about Blarm, say mission failed, and move
No.
on.
No, we're
we're
saying-
considering take the money and then ignore what they wanted and just do it anyway.
Okay, so can I say we take the money and then on the way out, I attempt to hack the system and then we just run?
So you're in his office alone right now, which is really why you have a chance to hack into something. Like you can maybe try getting access to another computer in a place where you're not being observed, but that would be probably some rolls would be required to get to that situation before you roll to hack. And he's kind of going to be expecting an answer when he comes back in, so he's not going to like leave again. So right now you have this chance, but.
And is the deal to just leave the kid or to stop looking into the?
He said you can continue your investigation, just stay away from the Oasis in a Bottle.
Oasis in a Bottle.
Which is our biggest lead.
Yes.
Which is our biggest is a strong word. Only lead.
Not strong.
It is the
Well, I mean,
biggest
I could inform you that the other guy who was at the Oasis knew my creators. I don't know where else to go from there, but that is something.
Can we talk to your creators?
Kind of.
Like, do we have? Like,
I
do you know
mean,
what company?
he knew the Ingram in my head. Maybe
Sure,
I
but
could get the guy's name, possibly.
Or like the company he works for, like where we might find him. Either of those options are good.
So LSD 1 you probably have like a label stamped into you somewhere saying Gabriele Robotics.
Yeah.
But other than that, I imagine like you haven't been. You snuck into the place and done stuff, but like you don't. If you were just to go to present yourself to Gabriele Robotics, you're not really sure how that would play out. I think they would.
Yeah,
They would like
excited.
maybe be confused by you and try to like run tests on you and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know who I could trust there, but there may be some connection to this case. I'm kind of grasping at straws here.
Yeah, me too.
Well, it seems like, at the very least, that fellow yesterday was telling us that he did not actually kidnap Blarn.
No, but there's almost certainly something else is going on, and that is relevant. Like the likelihood that whatever they're hiding from us is relevant. It's just like seems like 80% that whatever they're hiding is relevant information. Excuse me, I'm gonna replace my battery in my head.
So,
Okay, but if we take this money and we continue this investigation, are they just going to come down on us even harder?
well, they're gonna, yes, they will, that will definitely upset them and give them reason to come after us. If we don't take the money, we're still
gonna make them upset.
We're still gonna.
We're announcing our rivalry basically with them.
Yeah, which is like seems more dangerous, which is like dumb, right? Like, Do we have contact for the rats? Can I like ask rats if we're like comfortable picking a fight with? Like,
I think that answer would probably depend on how you phrase the situation to whoever you're talking to.
yeah, the question I'm asking is, I would want to ask the rats is, if the Pearl Association tells us to drop the case, is that a sufficient? Is that like, are we are we no longer fire? Can we like go to next case? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I think certainly you would have had experience, if not heard stories of rats teams getting into conflict with corporation, either bureaucracy or law enforcement or anything like that, because it's like everybody's going to have different interests and it's playing into different things. I would say the sentiment that Apollo gave earlier, that like he likes the rats, they do good work, they can do things that he can't sometimes, is pretty common among people like him and for the different corporations. And I think, yeah, there would have been maybe not like outright firefights, but there have been escalations between rats and corporations before, and you know, it's not unheard of, and kind of the consequences depend on the situation. So, you know, if you screw this up and Rats loses a lot of like credibility or resources, or Perla Studios decides to like go on the like, you know, offensive or stuff like that, then like, yeah, there may be consequences. But just like not cooperating with them is not something you would get fired for.
Sweet. I'm more and more wanting to just take the money and then try and get in contact with without getting caught. That's my.
That's I'm like 70% leaning that direction as well.
Yeah, I want to take the money and then betray them. And I don't trust them anyway. At this point, I don't like them very much. They're far too blasé about a fucking kidnapping of a child. So, and they're gonna mess with my friend the genie. So I fuck them.
Any objections? Any thoughts from the other two fellows here?
I worry about the optics of taking a bribe, but as long as we're trying to do the right thing, I trust that you'll have to be the moral compass here for me.
I'm happy to not take the bribe as well. We will just that costs us probably a day of making money or something like that because we don't have cash.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to think, like, if we don't take the money, we can... I guess I just wish I knew how they would react to that.
Well, wait a minute. Don't you have a magic mirror?
I do. Can I... Hold on, what's the limit? Because I did just use it earlier. What's the limit? How often can I use this thing?
As much as you want.
Uh,
Volition has no per day or per hour or whatever abilities.
There is no limit.
You know what? Sure, I can use that. We have a few minutes here alone in the office to ourselves. I can look down at my mirror and ask if we refuse the offer.
But like,
so you're using, because augury is a minutes activity, and I'll say that like, if you do that, that'll be the last thing you do before he walks back in the room.
I'm fine.
I'm cool with that.
Okay.
All right.
And if it's like a fight, we take the money. If it's a fight, we don't take them. If just declining politely is a fight, we don't take them. We take the money. If it isn't a fight, we do take the money.
Right. I guess my question is going to be, if we refuse the offer and just like leave, say, hey, we're going to keep looking into it, there's nothing you can do about it, are they going to become hostile towards us?
Yeah.
Sorry, you said if you do not take the money.
Yes.
Right. You see a vision of the mirror goes completely black, which you've seen before and you understand means that if they were to become hostile towards you, you would have seen a vision of that. But you see no vision at all, which kind of tells you no, they would not become hostile towards you.
Okay.
Gotcha. So we can refuse this offer and they won't immediately start trying to kill us or something like that.
Yep. So we can just politely be like, I'm happy to politely refuse the money and just say, sorry, we can't. We'll do our best to keep out of the big league stuff, but we might we're not gonna try not to step on any toes, but we are gonna continue looking into our.
So the door opens. He comes back in, throws the cigarette butt into the ashtray on his desk, and says, "All right, look, I got a lot of work to do. Have you made a decision?"
Yes, we have. Unfortunately, we are going to have to refuse your offer. We signed a contract to get this kid back home, and we don't want to make any enemies with you. We don't want to be stepping on any toes, but we're going to do our best
to not put our foot in any of the, in our nose in any of this stuff. But we can't promise not to. We'll do our best to avoid your business, but we can't promise not to, given that we might. We will have to. We'll overcome it for our mission. Yes, we will try to avoid your big picture issues, but we can't have that over our head. We can't guarantee that.
He sighs, takes the bag of runes and puts it back in the drawer on his desk, sits down and says, well, must be nice to have the capacity for morals. Do what you want.
It's not nice. Trust me, it sucks.
Also, unfortunately, it's our job. We do need our job, and it is our job.
Sure. Do what you want. I'll just let Arcadio know.
Keep an eye out for us.
Shoot on sight. And, if you think about reaching out to that place via electronic means, we have all the wires tapped. We'll be able to trace you if you try to contact the genie that way. So, why are you still in my office?
Okay, when you said the moral thing, I was like, wow, that's ominous, and then you just said shot on sight. That's really hostile. I don't think that's necessary.
I wish it wasn't, but unfortunately, that's not the world we're living in.
Good day, sir.
Right. Well, have a
Sorry,
good
your job's hard.
Okay, so y'all head out. So,
I didn't think he was going to threaten to shoot us.
I mean, we shot him, so.
We'll be fine.
Hypocritical of us to
But
be.
what are we going to do now?
Well, we have some options. We could try and get out the other way, get up to the balcony, maybe.
you're talking about the balcony on the back of Oasis in a Bottle?
Oasis. We could, above or below or to the side, we can maybe telekinesis across. We can. That's dangerous. Now we're talking spicy telekinesis.
So
we could also.
I do have rules, just while you're planning this, if this affects your planning or whatever. When y'all had the bridge fight, I'm not going to, as a complication, say you fall into the abyss and die. It'll be
Yes.
like you're teetering on the
Hanging.
side and then hanging and then you die. But it is a possibility of falling and not being able to survive.
But you are 3 complications away from death at all times.
Yes.
Um, uh,
So I have an idea. What if your friend is connected to the genie? What if we get the genie to come to our territory and we can talk more? We have information on
but I
that
don't have
he's
any way to
being
contact
watched.
the genie in the first place. I don't have. My friend is too distantly connected. I could like make a um.
Can you ask
Uh,
him for things?
I can. It's just much more like it's like because the power there is a specific power to do the thing we're talking about, and I don't have that power. It's like weird to
So
succeed at.
the power
But
would
I'm
be
saying
a
tell your friend that you would like for him
Yeah,
to tell the genie to come to the rat's office.
yeah, to meet with us. That seems fine to me.
yeah. That's definitely something you can do.
I'm gonna make
without-
that. I'm gonna make an attempt at that. Um. Is that acceptable? What's the difficulty for that?
Um, that will be. I'll make it easy because the genie or the friend is happy to see you keeping up this connection. So roll easy.
Okay. Uh. Success with a complication.
Um. So you kind of reach out in a way that's not really well explainable with this intent, and you feel a sense of positive affirmation from the friend. Um, and I imagine like this exchange is kind of happening as you're heading back to your office.
Mm-hmm.
While you're riding on the Skyway back to your office, Ryota, you realize that on the like opposite side of this train car, basically as far away from y'all, but in the same section as you can get, is somebody who's been following you since you left Perla or Principal Associates.
Great.
So you can do anything with that if you want, or we can just go to y'all discuss wanting to spend some days earning money because you might need it.
Yeah, we are going to need to do that.
Okay.
Do we want to like try and lose a um
So basically, the complication is that you know that they're keeping an eye on you, like kind of in general, which basically means that if you go try to do anything contrary to your agreement, you'll need to deal with that in that situation. But like
Yeah,
right,
like-
just going back to your office, doing daily office stuff, and like doing
Yeah.
other jobs, that's you don't need to worry about that.
and like it's not like distracting this guy is gonna make the entire thing go.
Yeah.
Is the thought I was having.
Mhm.
So yeah, I'm happy to just like spend a day doing the thing and see if the genie contacts us in any way. Or like, how do we the genie? I don't know how the genie's expected to contact us, but whatever. I trust a friend. Friend will figure it out. That's why he's a friend.
Okay. So yeah, if y'all want to, so basically, as a day activity, there's the option to earn wealth, which earns 2 plus the level of a talent that you're using to earn wealth. However, it costs 2 wealth per day to live, basically. So essentially, you earn 1 wealth per day, and also don't have to cover your living expenses. So that's an option. If you want to do something else, you can recuperate to get all your health and stamina back, but then you'll need to kind of pay for stuff, or any other day activities you want to perform. I'll say it'll take about a day before you hear anything back from the genie.
Yeah, Margaret will spend the day making money.
I'm gonna recuperate.
Okay.
I think Ryota is just gonna finally take the day to just like try to catch up on all the stuff he's fallen behind on, like all the office bureaucratic stuff he's fallen behind work. He's like doing like paperwork and stuff like, and that will be my working for the company, doing the non-special agenty stuff that we have to do, the admin tasks that we have to take care of, but it's still working.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Is that
And
money?
yeah, and I'll say, because you pick a talent when you or untalented, which means you just earn 2 wealth, which is just enough to cover your expenses for the day. But I'll say, like, if you want to use like tactics or something in your like organizational procedures, you're probably better than some of the other members of this team at getting that stuff done in a way that makes money for the company. We'll say that like your skill at this is you get like a bonus essentially, and that's what this money is representing.
I was gonna say I think I can. Margaret might work at the company and use insight to like do the same kind of thing of just like get who can do the job for me, who is more excited for some work than someone else. Like that kind of like trying to figure out like what is needed and providing it, and use insight to get a bonus essentially at the company as well.
Yeah, that sounds good.
So I will go up 1 wealth. I guess I can just do activity. I'll do the earn wealth perform.
What's Guppy gonna do for this day?
Probably just standard work. Much like our sniper here, just office work, filing reports on that very loud machine, keeping things moving and running as smooth as they possibly can.
Okay. So if you're doing the earn wealth activity, you'll need to pick one of your talents, and you'll earn 3 wealth. If you don't have a talent, you'll earn 2 wealth.
That's going to be. I'm gonna definitely do untalented for this one, just because I think it fits. I think it fits Guppy more. Of just attempting to do the office work rather than trying to figure out how one of his magical abilities could work here.
Okay.
So, would that be standard?
No, you don't need a roll. If you go to activities, there's a it's just the talent just affects. Like if you're higher level talents, you get more money, but it is all that affects. But if you go to activities and then there's one called earn wealth, you can click perform and it'll walk you through the steps.
Thank you.
Yep. So at the end of the day, as you're leaving the office, Mogget, you feel in that inexplainable way the friend's presence with you, as if they've returned. And there's a sense of sadness and failure and loss in a way that you're not quite sure what it means. If you want to make an insight roll, and I'll make this one easy for you because you've known the friend for a while, and their strange ways of communication.
Does someone have a help action for me?
I'm not sure how I could help with this.
Yeah.
I mean, anything related to like
I'll just bet
asking.
stamina.
Okay.
Nope.
Anything related to like asking Mogget questions about the friend, or maybe walking out of the office with her and like noticing her kind of be confused.
I think I'm gonna let the failure
Okay.
stand.
Yeah. So essentially, you are not able. What you sense is that the friend was not able to make the connection happen, and you're not
Yep.
sure of any more specifics than that.
Yep. I have some ideas based on like that. My assumption is that the fucking guy's dead, but or there's some magical circle or protection, but I'll let the party know. Do you want to give me with hit me with any other complications?
No, I think that's complication enough.
You're fine.
So I think at this point, maybe if we could figure out what the next step might be, and we'll pick up there next time.
I
think my
want to use the balcony plan.
Okay.
Yeah, the balcony plan seems like fun.
Okay.
Wait, which balcony are we going to?
The genie's balcony. We can go from either below or beside the genie's balcony without getting hopefully not get seen, and sneak
we're
into the
gonna
genie spot,
Sneak in and try to talk to the genie again.
or figure out what's going. Morgan at this point's suspicious that this genie's dead, or fucking magic captured. So like.
Yeah, we should save the genie.
All right.
So we started with a balcony, and now we shall end planning to return to the balcony.
To the balcony, to a
Different balcony, but same idea.
more different, much more dangerous.
Okay. I
Balcony.
mean, everybody lives in giant skyscrapers here. They like their balconies. Got some nice views of. I mean, trying to, you kind of like you can definitely see like the curvature of the planet and stuff from because the base of the skyscrapers is a mile above the surface of the planet. So you get some really nice views. You can probably see across the Sea of Strife to the continent on the other side. But anyway, that's where we'll end today's session. See how this balcony plan goes next time.